Joining me now is North Carolina Congressman Mark Harris. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Assess the war for us so far.
Well, Maria, first of all, thank you for having me this morning. I think it continues to be a testimony to the incredible men and women in uniform from the United States and just our armed forces and the superiority that they continue to demonstrate. And, of course, working alongside with Israel, they're making incredible progress. They're doing exactly what they've set out to do. They told us they were going to take out the leadership. They're doing that, and we're hearing reports, as you just gave, daily of that happening. They're taking out these missiles that were very dangerous. They're absolutely determined that Iran will not have a nuclear program in any way, shape, or form. And so they're carrying it out, and I'm very grateful for the men and women in uniform that are demonstrating this superiority.
Now, you, of course, are on the Agricultural Committee, and I want to get your take on the impact of this war from that standpoint. President Trump has moved to offset some of these price hikes in some commodities, including the price of fertilizer. What is your take on the impact and whether or not this is actually a temporary blip?
Well, I do think that everything we're facing right now is a temporary blip. I really do believe that we're going to see things stabilize as we're able to continue in the successes that we're having. And then, of course, we're going to see this come to an end. And I think when we see it come to an end, we're going to see, once again, this economy begin to pick up and do the things. All the principles are in place. That's what's so important about President Trump's agenda and the things that we've put in place in the last year that are really set to let this economy ramp up. And I think we're going to continue to see that. We're going to see these gas prices and everything else come down at some point soon. And I think that's going to be important. And the president's working toward that end.
Is there anything else you want to see done with regard to the price of fertilizer, given the fact it is, of course, the spring growing season?
Well, I think, again, the president is recognizing the need to step in, and we've got a lot of things before us here in Congress, a lot of things facing us right now, and I think that we're going to be able to take those steps.
Okay. And, of course, one of those things is the opening of the DHS. The White House sent a letter outlining changes to the Department of Homeland Security aimed at reaching a deal with Democrats to end this 33-day shutdown. It includes expanding ICE body camera use, increasing congressional oversight of DHS detention facilities. In just hours from now, of course, the Senate confirmation hearing will begin for the incoming DHS chief, set to begin Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, expected to face tough questioning from both parties. Your thoughts on the hearing today and this prolonged shutdown is still causing disruptions at airports across the country. TSA officials are warning that some smaller airports could actually be forced to shut down the longer this agency stays shut, Congressman. What can you do?
Well, first of all, on the hearing part that you ask about, I think that Markwayne Mullin has been an incredible choice. I think he's going to do well in the hearings. I think the senators respect him, folks across the aisle as well, and I think he's going to do great. As far as the shutdown, it's got to come to an end. As you said, the White House has put forth, again, in a letter recently, the things they're willing to do. I think they're very reasonable, the things they put in place, and they're being careful. We've got to end this shutdown. For Chuck Schumer to continue to hold the American people hostage at a time with sleeper cells and all those things that are happening right here in the homeland, we've got to take the steps that need to happen. And it's just time for the Democrats to break the logjam and be willing to come to the table. And we're going to hopefully see it happen.
I mean, do you think people at the end of the day will blame Democrats for this prolonged shutdown of Homeland Security?
Well, I think if we do our job and message it, they certainly will, because they are the ones responsible. It's just reality. We have passed bill after bill from the House and sent it over to the Senate. They're the ones that are sitting on this. They're the ones that are unwilling to move, and they're the ones that the American people have to hold responsible. Yeah.
Well, I spoke with John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania. He said that he is going to vote to open up DHS. I'm not sure how many Democrats in the Senate will do that, but we're watching that, of course. So when I get your take on the Senate clearing a major procedural hurdle on the vote to open debate on the Save America Act, triggering what's expected to be days of a marathon debate showdown. Here's what we heard from the floor yesterday. Watch this.
By doing away with your right to vote, that's the Save America Act for you. It should be called the Save Our Political Hides Act, because that's exactly what it is.
This bill makes it easy to vote and hard to cheat. They're happy with exactly half of the equation and not the other half. But you can't have both and have a functioning representative government.
I mean, it's incredible to me that politics laces everything, sir. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he's pessimistic that the Democrats will actually be part of this and contribute. He's not expecting 60 votes needed to pass this voter ID legislation. You are vowing that a legislation blockade is going to be in place until the Save America passes, similar to what Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna told me yesterday. What are you saying? Tell us more.
Well, I'm continuing to hear more and more of my colleagues that are coming on board and recognizing that this is something the Senate has got to do. I mean, this is something that the American people want. It's overwhelmingly successful when you look at how it's polling, that even I think it's 71% of Democrats believe it. So I'm amazed that something so simple that requires proof of citizenship in order to register and requires a photo ID to prove you are who you say you are when you vote would create anyone who would just make such a big deal and say, we're not going to do this. It is so simple. And I can't understand. Well, I do understand. They know the problems they've got in the Democratic Party, and they recognize that unless they're able to keep doing what they're doing and having illegals in their voting, then they're not going to be successful. So we've got to continue to put the pressure on. I'm grateful that the Senate crossed that hurdle. I'm grateful that they're moving into the debate, and I hope that people will continue to step up and contact their senators and let them know this is just so simple that everyone ought to be able to get on board.
So you think that's what it's about, that the Democrats feel that their policies are not resonating with the American people. They need illegals to vote. That's what you think this is about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, they have been a party, and we have seen this, that they are leaderless, they're rudderless, their issues. President Trump's made it clear when you just look at these issues, it's overwhelming that the American people want to see something like this take place where they can have confidence in their elections.
Well, I don't know how someone like an Adam Schiff is able to come out and spew things like he just did, trying to say that the Republicans are trying to take away people's opportunity to vote. I mean, how does he get away with something like that? You guys are never under oath, I guess.
Well, that's exactly right.
Thank you, sir. We'll be watching your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Mark Harris. We'll be right back.